Hello, traders. Greetings from Galveston, Texas. I've been on a little vacation, but I wanted to go over the reversal patterns for today. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into it. I do want to point out, yeah, there they are. I think that's, yeah. No, I don't know why I put that green line there. It's not supposed to be there. Okay. One thing I do want to point out, I have this pre-market low, pre-market high. Mark that out on your chart every day because the market will typically refer to those when we open. That's why they're on there. I mark them out every day. Pre-market high, pre-market low, and then opening range is the first 30 minutes of the day, so I'll mark that out. And the market does typically refer to those levels. So make sure you're putting them on your chart every day. Today we had a regular trading hour, 4 hour high. It reached for that and put up this beautiful reversal pattern. I was talking to my trading buddy Adam, and I told him, I think we're going to go take that 4 hour high. I got caught up in all this chop for some reason. I thought it would be a great idea. There is a reversal pattern there, but I thought it would be a great idea to try to get along up to this area. But every time I would get in, I would get one of these jobbers. Like there's a fair value gap there. You get in there and woo! And these are not small moves. Let's see. If you get in right there at the top of that fair value gap, that is a 30-point move down. And my stop loss is only 25 points. So I got spanked quite a bit. Here, we validate no fair value gap. Where do we finally get one? Right here. You finally get a fair value gap above the breaker right there. You could get an entry right here just in time for a whip all the way back down. And that's not a small move either. Okay, so this one was not clean. It was difficult. If you got in somehow, I mean, one micro with $100 stop loss, you'd have been okay. But I mean, that's a 50 freaking point move ripped back down. Did the candle bodies respect the breaker? Let's see. There was also news at 9 o'clock, so that was another reason I wasn't really into taking this trade. But I did try a few, and I got spanked. Okay, so if you look at it from that perspective, candle bodies did respect the breaker. There's the low, there's the high. Candle bodies never went past. Wicks did some damage. If you put your entry at the breaker, which maybe that would be the best thing to do in these conditions, how much stop would you have to have? Even that's 26 points. I still would have got stopped out. That whole morning thing was just a frustrating little mess. So if you got in on that one, good for you. Maybe you get in right here. Maybe this fair value gap was your entry because that one would have held. You would have filled here on that red candle. Stop going all the way down to the fair value gap is 28 points, but it never did get down that far. But that's where your stop would have needed to be. And so the most heat you would have taken on that was 10 points. But after all of this, I mean, were you really confident being there when you start seeing these rips down? I don't know. That one was rough. But this one, that's when I told Adam, I said, man, this stuff is too volatile. But when we take that 4 hour high, we could get a reversal pattern and go all the way back down to settlement. And that's the trade I took. So very nice, went up, chopped around forever, it seemed like, before we finally went down. I actually got an entry right around here. It was around 90, 96. I tried it there, and I was like, I don't think it's going to come up here all the way to there, so I put it at the halfway of this candle, and I got filled there at 96, wherever the top of that is. Yeah, 23,496. And I was aiming for settlement right down here. That's where I had my take profit, and that's 170 points. But I ended up when we start when we started bouncing around in this area, I ended up taking the trade off. Made a little bit, not nearly as much as I could have. If I would have held that and just said, you know what, we're going back to settlement, and I'm not changing my hypo on this at all. But when we bounced off of this bullish breaker and started to move back up, I was like, uh oh, I'm in trouble. And I ended up killing it and did not make hardly any money on it. But another way, after the fact, hindsight's always wonderful. Adding here and adding there to your short position would have been the best call. I did take another short here. We didn't take that high, and that was a little troublesome for me. But I've been seeing that happen where we're leaving highs and then falling out of bed. And so I just trusted this signal to settlement, and I did catch this one. Made a little bit in my XFAs, and I also started another combine trying to get another one funded and had a max profit day on that rundown right there. So pretty excited about that. I have been struggling a little bit with getting into this stuff here and just trying to do a gamble trade, which is completely unnecessary. It's just something I always struggle with, being impatient. Really, what I think the best thing for me to do, because I am impatient and I am impulsive sometimes with my trading, would be to put on a 15-minute chart or something like that and just trade these levels here. Like this one, we came down, we took out a 4 hour, or that actually is a high that we already were trading above. I didn't change it. But once we took out settlement down here, then you could change to a 1 minute chart and start looking for a reversal somewhere around this low. And we got one. I didn't even show y'all that one, I don't think. Yeah, so here's that low. We took out settlement, a significant level, filled the gap. We opened with a gap. And so our lowest point is here. Our last up close before that low point is right there. Let's make sure I got it in the right spot. This isn't a clean reversal. It was a little bit scary, but we pulled away with a fair value gap. We took out that high, came back down, touched it, chopped around, touched it again, took that high, came back down, almost got to it, and then went on a freaking mental run. This was difficult to hold through, but it would have been fine. You didn't know that at the time. But if you just took your profit here, you would have gotten in here. But if you waited until the touch again, you would have been fine to there, or you would have been fine all the way to there. Maybe this one right here was our indication. Oh, we didn't take the lows that time. Tiny little fair value gap there. Maybe you could jump in there. This one was hard. It was not a clean reversal. But once we started eclipsing these highs, any of these fair value gaps here would have been fine to get in on. This one would not have given you an entry. This one would at 73. I mean, would you know at that point that we're going to the moon? No. But if you had a conviction that we were going to go take these relative equal highs that we had left earlier, then absolutely. I mean, that's exactly where it went. The market generated its own liquidity. So you could have got in there at 73, right around that fair value gap right there, and just aiming for those highs, just tick above. That's 90 points. 90 freaking points. So we had 170 from the way down, 90 points on the way back up, and an additional rip down here. That was all the way to settlement. That's a 100-point run there too. A lot of volume, a lot of moving around today. Yesterday was very similar, but I did not do well yesterday. I can't explain why, other than I had some impulsive trades where I lost money. And once I was in the hole, I was trading scared. I was moving my stop to break even long before it needed to be moved. and getting stopped out and then getting frustrated and taking more impulsive trades. And I nearly wiped out all of, well, not I stopped before I was to that point, but I nearly wiped out my XFAs yesterday because I was so pissed off. And yeah, that can't happen. So, um, just because I get a payout, just because I'm doing better, doesn't mean I'm immune from going batshit crazy and blowing up my stuff. It's a struggle. It's a struggle every day. Maintaining that discipline, maintaining that consistency. Topstep knows that. That's why they have the rules in place that they do. It's very difficult to maintain your composure day in, day out, every time you come into the market. It's a struggle for all of us, not just me, not just you. It's a struggle for everyone. So um, that's why we have all of these things in place to protect us from ourselves. All of these account risk settings, daily loss limits, daily profit targets. All this stuff is here to protect us. Why would they have all of this in all of your trading platforms if it wasn't an industry problem? It's just part of the human psyche that it's difficult to stay consistent when you've gotten your ass handed to you. You get mad, you overtrade, you try to get your money back. It's just part of the deal. But if you can stop yourself, that's when you start seeing success. And I am seeing a little, but I am not over that stuff yet. I wouldn't be surprised if I blow up an account tomorrow. So I hope I don't. But when it hits, it's like somebody else invaded my body. And I wake up later saying, what in the hell just happened? Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to one another. I love each and every one of you. Until next time, trade well.